What's up, everyone, and welcome to Director's Spotlight Season 1. This is episode 28, and we are going to be going, of course, this is the show where we go through an entire filmography of a director. Season 1 focused on Steven Spielberg. Again, we're up to his 28th movie. This is from 2012. It's called Lincoln. I'm your host, Nate. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Alex.
Hey, what's up?
And Evan.
Hello.
And as usual, you already know the drill. By this point, you should know the drill. We're going to be going over some box office numbers, critical reception, a little bit of awards information, some fun facts, and then we're going to give you our thoughts on this movie. Alex, was first time watch, correct?
Yes, this is a first time watch for me.
Okay, I know you've heard of this one. It was just the first time.
I did hear. I heard of this one. I just never seen it. Pretty much.
Okay, and then Evan, definitely not a first time watch for you.
No, I have watched it twice a year while I was teaching, because I showed it every year. So I watched it before I show it, so I was prepared for any questions, refresh my memory. And then sometimes I will watch it a third time just to enjoy the movie, because, you know, when you're always watching it for work. So 2 to 3 times a year for about 17 years.
Okay, you've seen the movie 57 times. All right, sweet. This was my second time watching it. So we're going to have a first time, a second time, and a 38th time. And that should cover all the bases, I think. Yeah. Let's see what we think of the movie and everything. But before we do, let's go over some information now. Again, the movie came out in 2012. Honestly, guys, I was a little surprised as far as it's a big hit. $65 million budget, but it made $275.3 million.
Wow.
So, I mean, what's that, like 4 times the budget plus some change? So it did well financially. Critically, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes with the critics, 80% with audiences, which I was also a little bit surprised that the audience score was so high for this movie, but 80%. Now, this was nominated for 12 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Steven Spielberg. So 2 years in a row, he was nominated for Best Picture, War Horse the year before, Lincoln this year. It did not win either of those. It did win 2 awards. It won for production design and for actor for Daniel Day-Lewis, his portrayal of Abraham Lincoln. What else is new? Daniel Day-Lewis won an Oscar. What a shock. Now, as far as the fun facts, these are a little lengthy, just like this movie, so bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and read these as quickly as I can, and then we're going to jump into the review. So, while consulting on a Steven Spielberg project in 1999, Doris Kearns Goodwin told Spielberg that she was planning to write Team of Rivals, which is a book about Abraham Lincoln. It was the last 4 years of his life or something like that. And Spielberg immediately told her he wanted the film rights. Now, DreamWorks Pictures finalized the deal in 2001. And by the end of the year, John Logan signed on to write the script. Now, his draft focused on Abraham Lincoln's friendship with Frederick Douglass. Playwright Paul Webb was then hired to rewrite the script, and filming was set to begin in January of 2006. But Spielberg delayed it out of dissatisfaction with the script. Liam Neeson, who this is going to come up later, Liam Neeson said Webb's draft covered the entirety of Lincoln's term as president. So it was a little bit of a different movie in this initial sort of production phase. Now, Tony Kushner ended up replacing Webb as the writer, and Kushner considered Lincoln the greatest Democratic leader in the world and found the writing assignment daunting because, quote, "I have no idea what made him great. I don't understand what he did any more than I understand how William Shakespeare wrote Hamlet or Mozart wrote Così fan tutti." I don't know. I gotta stop picking these things that have all these words that I can't pronounce. Yeah. He wrote it. Mozart wrote this thing called this thing. Kushner said
this thing and this thing.
Kushner said Lincoln's abolitionist ideals made him appealing to a Jewish writer. And although he felt Lincoln was a Christian, he noted that the president rarely quoted the New Testament and that his thinking and his ethical deliberation seemed very Talmudic. Talmudic? Again, don't know what that means, but there you go.
The Talmud. It's the Talmud. It's an ancient Hebrew text.
There you go. All right. Very good. That's why we got Evan here. He's the historian. Spielberg
approached... That's what I'm thinking.
Probably right. Spielberg approached Daniel Day-Lewis about the project in 2003, but he turned down the part at the time, believing the idea of himself playing Lincoln was, quote, preposterous. Liam Neeson was then cast as Lincoln in January 2005. Having worked previously with Spielberg in Schindler's List, to great effect at that time. In preparation for the role, Liam Neeson studied Lincoln extensively. However, in July 2010, Neeson left the project saying that he had grown too old for the part. Now, this part made me laugh. Neeson was 58 at the time, and Lincoln, during the period depicted in the movie, was 55 or 56. So he was pretty much the same exact age as Lincoln, but he said he was too old. In an interview with GQ, Neeson said he realized during a table read that the part was not right for him in a thunderbolt moment. And after the read, he requested that Spielberg recast the role. Co-star Sally Field, who did end up in the movie, in a 2012 PBS interview, suggested that Neeson's decision was influenced by the death of his wife, Natasha Richardson, less than 1 year earlier. After dropping out of the role, Neeson incidentally suggested that Daniel Day-Lewis, he suggested him to Spielberg. Neeson and Leonardo DiCaprio both called Daniel Day-Lewis to convince him to accept the role. And in November of 2010, it was announced that Daniel Day-Lewis would replace Liam Neeson in the lead role. Okay, last one. I mean, these are kind of long, but they're pretty interesting. Lincoln was acclaimed by critics. The film, the president too, but the film, who lauded its acting, especially from the lead, Spielberg's direction, and its production values. It was nominated for 7 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Motion Picture Drama, Best Director, and it won Best Actor for Daniel Day-Lewis. And at the 85th Academy Awards, it received 12 nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director. It won for Production Design and Best Actor in his third time winning. It was also a commercial success, grossing over $275 million at the box office. It has since been ranked as one of the best films of Spielberg's career and one of the greatest films of the 21st century. So this is the critical appraisal of this film. Many awards, many dollars. Evan, do you have anything?
I got only one more fact that you did not add.
Okay.
Is that they actually went and got into Lincoln's watch, and Spielberg got to film the sound of Lincoln's watch. So there's a scene in the movie where he's staring at his watch. That is actually the sound. It's not Lincoln's watch in the movie, but it's the sound of Lincoln's watch, which I think is pretty cool that his watch was still in working condition, and just adding that to the movie and taking the time to, and it's like, how many seconds, if you remember, it's not even 10 seconds, it's less than that, but taking all that time to do it just to add that part is just a cool fact.
That is pretty cool. They said you cannot use this on film, but you can record it. You can record.
Well, I couldn't leave like the lab, whatever it's called, the volts.
Lincoln volts.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. A lot of information. Liam Neeson. A quick question. How do you guys think that Liam Neeson looks like he could play Abraham Lincoln?
I think he's tall. I think he would look like him if you put the makeup on him. I just think he has the problem. This is the problem that I have, and this is not my movie review or nothing.
Right.
My problem is that we really do not know how. Maybe Evan does because he's a teacher and maybe he looked up whatever. But for myself, we really don't know what Lincoln sounds like. We were never around, so he could sound marbly, like, you know what I mean. Like he could have
no audio recording of Lincoln.
There's no audio recording, but there's the history and some audio recording from where people are from and stuff like that. So where I think Liam Neeson can't lose his sound. Like Daniel Day-Lewis doesn't sound like Daniel Day-Lewis all the time, if that makes sense. Where Liam Neeson, even when he does an American accent or does a different accent, he still sounds like Liam Neeson, if that makes sense.
He has a distinct, like, deep voice. So, like,
dialect,
for me, so, like, his dialect for me, like, again, it would not bother me because I don't know what Lincoln sounds like. Now, whereas Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, you have video recordings of the guys talking. So to me, that's kind of different. But when you're playing a president from God knows when there was no recordings and no nothing, to me, it's like now you're using your figment of imagination now, because it's like, I don't know what those people sound like back then. So I think he would have nailed it because he would have looked exactly like him if you put a photo. But in terms of
that little chin beard on him, he's like 6'5", which Lincoln was known to be tall. I feel like he would look it. I agree with you, Alex, in the sense of Liam Neeson. People forget that he's a great actor because he did all these action movies when he was old.
Yeah,
he's a great actor. Was Taken after this or before this?
After
Taken 1 was before this.
Yeah, before.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
But Spielberg would have pulled a great performance out of him. I don't doubt it. But I do agree. Like, as long as he could do an American accent pretty well, because and that was one of the things too, was Daniel Day-Lewis came up with this sound for Lincoln because nobody knew how he talked. So he kind of had this higher pitch.
He just studied some people looked into people who talked from that region and kind of
from Illinois, I believe.
Illinois, and he kind of just came up with this. So it wouldn't have been that. But for me, I would have lost myself in when we go to the review. Like you as any Daniel Day-Lewis performance is almost, you lose Daniel Day-Lewis. Like he's one of those actors that you forget that he's Daniel Day-Lewis. You forget where like Liam Neeson, even when I'm watching like his older movie, like Rob Roy and all these other movies, Darkman, he's still Liam Neeson. He's one of those actors, like it's not bad, like Tom Cruise or you never lose them, but it doesn't get lost, where like this movie, I think benefits for people not like going, oh, that's who that is. Like, so I think I think it was a better choice.
I get what you're saying. My thing is between the two, this is my first movie with Daniel Day-Lewis. I never seen no movies with him. So this is my first one with him. I know everybody said he's a great actor. This is my first time. But what I will say between the two, that I watched this movie for Daniel Day-Lewis, and I'm not going to compare all this stuff so you don't kill me in the comments, is that I think Liam Neeson will bring that intimidation factor because he's so tall compared to...
Daniel Day-Lewis is tall.
He's 6'2".
So
yeah, Liam Neeson is taller by 2 inches.
Well,
so,
but you're
Daniel Day-Lewis is tall.
No, he's tall. So he's my height.
Yeah.
He's my height.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis is 6'2", so he's my height. So Liam Neeson is a little 2 inches taller, but I just think the
gravitas, maybe a little bit more presence.
Yeah, and the way he's built, I think he brings that intimidation, like in terms of a president. Like I'll talk about all that crap in my review, but I'm just saying between the two actors, I just feel Liam Neeson will bring that intimidation. Where Daniel Day-Lewis, where I do agree with you is, I do feel that you do lose. I feel like he was Abraham Lincoln. Like I get it, because Liam Neeson would have brought the Liam Neeson that because of his accent, you can't get rid of it. So I kind of understand that. So
you know what? It's to the point where I don't even know what Daniel Day-Lewis really sounds like. I only know him in movies. And he always never sounds the same in any movie.
No, and so he's one of those method actors. He never leaves character. So the whole entire time he played Lincoln, he talked like that. Even at home, even like that, he does not switch. Like he's world famous for, like, in The Last of Mohican, he learned how to actually take a wood log and make a canoe. And then when he became a cobbler, he learned how to make shoes, and he still does that. Like he takes all these skills and he learns them, and he becomes the character. And so that's why he retired from acting, but he just came out like last year, and for his son asked him. Son directed that movie. I haven't seen it yet, but it's amazing because once you start watching him, like I'm shocked that you haven't seen Gangs of New York, just for who I know who you are.
You have seen him. Alex, because we watched The Last of the Mohicans for...
Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, but is he the main
He's character? The main guy.
He's the main guy.
Okay. Well, you know
what? You didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess. He was really good in that movie. Yeah. So this is my second movie with him. But
when most people when you watch him, people don't know that he's the other guy that they played. Like he's in my own left foot, or my whatever that movie. The Boxer, all these movies, people, like, you talk to people, that's the same guy. They go, no, because he transforms himself so well into the movie.
Well, enough about this. Let's review this movie. Now, guess what? Last week, I went last. Alex went first. Evan went second. This week, Evan, you're going to get the chance to go first because you've seen this movie 643 times. We're going to get your take. I'm going to go second this time, Alex. You're going to go last. We're going to flip up the order. Evan, please take it away with your review for Lincoln.
So this movie has a special place in my heart. My dad called me when the movie came out and said, hey, you want to go see this movie? I think you would like it. And it's 2012, right? 2012? Right. Yeah, my son was just born. So I haven't been, he's almost a year. So I haven't been to many movies. So it was just a nice going out. It made me feel good because I walked in. I was definitely the youngest person in the whole theater at this time because we went on a Sunday in the morning. So it was like I was the youngest. But it was just cool watching it with my dad in history and stuff like that. I would like to start. I love this movie. I almost think this is a perfect movie. I don't, as a historian, everything about Lincoln, you could, if you love Lincoln, you could use this movie. If you hate Lincoln, you could use this movie because it touches everything correctly. And it does it so respectfully. You could tell that the people working around it go, hey, this is how we should touch it. So there's two Lincolns that most people know. So you're going to love Lincoln because of how he won the war and did all the politics in that. And Lincoln is right after the Democratic Republican Party split. Because remember, you had the Democratic Republic, one party, and then you had the Federalists, a different party. But what happens is they're splitting, and you have the Democratic, and then you have the Republican Party, which are the two major parties we still have today, but drastically different. I think, to my knowledge, Lincoln was the very first Republican Party president voted. I don't think any Republican was before him. It would have been the Democratic Republican. I want to say that he's the first one. But you either love Lincoln in that way, but you could be I have a big issue with Lincoln that he abused the Constitution to wield his way. And so a lot of people will talk about that. And I was worried but the movie touches it. The movie touches bases. There's that one big long speech where he goes, I know what I did, and then I got reelected. And so that means I get to continue down this way because the people had a choice to not vote for me. You get what I'm saying? There's that little tidbits of conversation that this movie does that I just love throughout it. What a cast. I love this cast. I mean, everyone, even up and comers. You have Adam Driver in a small little role. What's his name? He plays Robin in Dark Knight Rises. Holy cow! What's his name?
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt. Playing his son.
Domingo before he was even anybody at the beginning of the movie.
Anybody, yes. And so you just have all these great performances from people who are great at the time or going to do great things. It's just amazing how, once again, Spielberg knows how to just find these people and mix it. Sally Fields holds her own against Daniel Day-Lewis. I think that's an amazing performance. James Spader's character brings that comedic to the movie without taking you out of the drama of it. You get to laugh, you get to do it. When he shoots the gun and the guy's loading, he kicks grass and he runs when they're trying to do it. You get to wrestle with so many ideas politically, because is Lincoln okay bribing these people to do a good thing? They don't answer that. We, as the audience, have to answer, was those actions right? The only issue I have with this movie is it shouldn't have been called Lincoln. Because people go in and you're wanting a movie about Lincoln. This is not really about Lincoln. This is about passing the amendment and about all the politics around there, and Lincoln's involved in it. It's not Lincoln's life. It's not Lincoln coming to thing. So I could see going into the movie and people go, I'm going to watch a movie about Lincoln. It's don't really get that. It's not a biopic. And that's my issue with it. I wish they went with the title of the movie, but I also go, people wouldn't have gone and seen the movie because they've got Daniel Day-Lewis playing Lincoln. So you have that going for you. So I could see why some people could walk out being disappointed in the movie because they're going, I wanted something different, because it's a bunch of talking and it's all about that, but it's so well done. I love it. So when I told people, when I showed my students and I said, hey, it's called Lincoln, but it's not a biopic, they all loved it, because knowing what you go in for, they're a little bit relaxed because you're not seeing him being elected. But I just love this movie. I enjoy it, but I do wish there was a different title for it. I don't know what that would be, but I think some people will be disappointed because it's not Lincoln's life. And all the big moments that you think you're going to see about Lincoln, you don't actually ever see in this movie. You don't see at the end. You're not. Should we spoil it?
Something Alex is probably going to say. It's
it's funny when you talk about the title. I think you should just call it the 13th Amendment.
That's what that's what I wanted to call it.
Yeah, you could have just called it that.
Or Amendment 13.
Amendment
13.
Yeah, that sounds like a movie title. Yeah,
it
does.
It could have worked.
You can still sell it on Lincoln being the main character.
Yeah.
It's not that hard,
But because at the very end, it's a cool little spoiler, but you're thinking you're in the theater, but you're not in the theater of where it happens. And so I could see, I remember walking out and some of the old people that was in the theater, one guy goes, I wanted to see Lincoln get shot. That's literally what he said.
Oh, Lord. That was Alex waiting for the action movie guys ending.
I mean, because we don't see any battles. We see a little bit. We got maybe 10 minutes, but we're seeing the effects of the wars. We're seeing the effects of it, and that's what I love. So I'm a pop culture historian. I'm a culture historian. I don't care about the war. I care about what the war does to the people at home and to the culture around it. That's what I love to study. So this movie just fits my wheelhouse of what I love. But I do feel it. People will be disappointed if they're thinking they're getting a Lincoln biopic. And that's where I think some of people could be frustrated with.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and do my review. Now, before I do, I'm just going to read the cast for everybody at home. If you've not seen this movie. Now, I'm not going to tell you who they play, because some of these are like tiny roles. Some of them are like 2 scenes. Some of them are more. But every single name is like someone you've heard of if you are like a big time movie watcher. So you have Daniel Day-Lewis, of course. And by the way, 3 acting nominations for this. He was nominated. Sally Field was nominated. And Tommy Lee Jones. Not James Earl Jones. Okay. Tommy Lee Jones. James Earl Jones not in this.
Mufasa. He was holding Lincoln up at the.
He played Lincoln. James Earl Jones. No, Tommy Lee Jones also nominated. So you have Daniel Day-Lewis, Sally Field, David Strathern, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Hal Holbrook, James Spader, Tommy Lee Jones, John Hawkes, Bruce McGill, Jackie Earle Haley, Tim Blake Nelson, Lee Pace, Jared Harris. Who, if you guys don't know him, he was on. He played the guy in the Sherlock Holmes, the second movie. Remember that one? He was the bad guy, Moriarty. Jeremy Strong, who, of course, is now a very popular actor because of, what was that show he was on? Succession on HBO. Then you also have, in small, tiny roles, Lucas Haas, Dane DeHaan, Coleman Domingo, David Aiello. Like, literally every person that pops up on screen, I'm like, I know that guy. 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 And I do agree with you, Evan. This is our 28th movie. How many of these dang movies has Spielberg directed where there's actors you didn't know before, and then all of a sudden Zoe Saldana in the freaking Terminal, and nobody knows Zoe Saldana now. Look at her.
You forgot our boy though, bro. You forgot our boy in the list. My boy Walton Goggins.
Oh yeah, Walton Goggins is in this. Yeah, dude, every single role.
Adam Driver. This guy's literally, 2 lines, 3 lines, and then the background character, boom. Look at that career.
Yeah. So, amazing cast. You know me, like to start with the positives. Great cast, great performances across the board. Absolutely an acting class. Like if you're an actor and you are like trying to, and you watch this, you'd be like, these people are all doing an amazing job. Everybody. Great acting, great. I see why it won production design. Like this movie looks like it actually took place in like the 1800s. It is phenomenal on a technical level. Great. I will say the music, not great for John Williams. It might have been nominated for score, but I don't think it's that good. Warhorse is far better as far as this sort of old timey music. I don't really like the score for Lincoln, but I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just, to me, it's not memorable.
It didn't stand out. I don't think it works again. It didn't work against the movie though. It just didn't. It didn't stand out like a typical John Williams.
Positives because it's good. It's just not as memorable as most of John Williams' other stuff. What else? Great production design. That's it. I don't like this movie. I am not a fan of this movie. This is one of my least favorite Steven Spielberg movies. Now, I understand the praise. You know, you ever watch a movie and you're like, I get it. I get why this was nominated for 12 Academy Awards. I get why, all these people are saying it's amazing. I just think it's so boring. And, it's a great point that Evan, like you showed it at school. If I watched this at school, I'd be like, okay, that was a pretty good day at school because I didn't have to do work and I watched a movie. Outside of school, when would I ever be like, I feel like watching Lincoln? I can't think of a time for me that I'd ever be in the mood to watch a movie where all they do is talk about politics for 2.5 hours. And it's not even like modern politics or like that sort of satirical thing or that biting. No, it's just old timey politics. They talk weird. Sometimes I don't know what they're talking about. And and I don't mean as far as like accents. I mean, the way they spoke in that time period, they put these words together and I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that guy's talking about. I don't feel like looking it up. Subtitles wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't have mattered if I read them. I could hear it. I had it loud. I just don't know what they're saying. So it's a really tough for me to like, and you know what? It was funny because I was like, okay, I know I saw this at the theater. I remember seeing it at the theater because it was nominated. And I was like, I gotta see this movie. It's gonna, it's important. And I now realize why I haven't watched it in 14 years because I don't think I liked it then either. I think it's a slog. I told Alex off air, like what you guys said about War Horse, I actually feel about this movie. I was just thinking, are we going to battle this out at the what is it, the ranking? I pin Lincoln way up high, Wars up high, and Alex is going to be that decider because I'm like, oh, you sound like me last week. Yes, exactly. It was weird when I was watching it. I was like, oh, I wonder if this is how Evan felt about War Horse. It must be because I was like, I just could not get into it. It's so long. It feels longer than it is because it's boring. There's no excitement. War Horse. I'm going to make the comparison because they only came out a year apart. They're both old, old-timey type stories. At least that had that, the thing that you didn't love where it was like kind of sentimental, like overly sentimental. At least it had that. This doesn't have none of that. It is so black and white of a movie. I never felt like, oh, this is a very sweet, touching moment. When the black people walked in at the top and this is your Congress too, no, because it was you know what it reminded me of, but like Amistad, and I remember there was like some compare, and I like Amistad better. I think that's a more engaging movie for me, just for me. This one, I don't know. I could not get into it. Outside of, I respect it more than I enjoy it. I guess I'll put it that way. Because I do not think it's a bad movie. I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is a terrible movie. It's horrible. It's not. It's probably great. I just don't like it that much. It was rough for me to get through. When will I ever watch this again? I don't know. I own it on Blu-ray. It looks great. I will never upgrade it. Blu-ray's fine. I won't get rid of it because I do think it is I would say it's an important movie. It's like, it's good. It's history. But I like history, but I enjoy exciting history. And I didn't find this movie exciting other than watching good actors act really well. That's sort of the only draw that was getting me through it. Because I was like, I am bored. I told Alex, I put this movie on at like 9 a.m. to make sure that I did not fall asleep or get tired. I was like, I cannot watch this at night. Because if I remember correctly, I find it boring. So a tough, not for me, not my favorite Spielberg, but I don't disagree with anything you said. And I do think it is extremely well made, extremely well crafted, and deserving of everything it got. It's just not my cup of tea. So Alex, with that said, you are the tiebreaker here. Besides waiting for him to get shot, what did you think of Lincoln?
You said everything perfectly. Like, I don't fault the acting, the direct, like all that stuff is great. But this movie is freaking boring as hell. I couldn't. I was really bored. I was on my phone. I was like, when is this damn thing is ending? It was not horrible. I just think in terms of the pace, it was just bad. And I think it did not know what it wanted to be. It did not know it was going to be a Lincoln biopic or it was going to be the 13th Amendment biopic. Because it was just between tugging the line. He was playing with his son. He's not playing with his son. Then it switches to the courtroom when everyone is arguing and he's not there. He's at the White House. And then James Spader has to be like, what's his decision? Now his fat ass got to run from one end to the other end. And I was like, oh my God, this thing is getting drawn up. And I get it. I totally understand if you're a historian like Evan, you will like it. You know the history of Lincoln. Me, I don't. And I mean, I get he did great things, but at the end of the day, like, do I care for it? No, I don't. Like, I don't. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I like Amistad way more than this. And that one is a little bit low on my rankings, but I kind of enjoy that because that one had a story for me to follow. I felt the emotional tug between them, with that whole fight in the courtroom. It was long as hell, but I felt it. This one, I just was just like, oh my God. You had Tommy Lee Jones that did not even look like he fit in this cast at all because the way he
Oh,
speaks.
he looks just like him.
Huh?
He looks just like the guy he played.
No, I bet he does. I'm just saying his accent. His accent threw me off. Like, let me tell you something there, Senator. And I was just like, what is good? You know what I mean?
Really good in this movie.
No.
Yeah.
He was good, but I felt
But I can
like
see when you talk. He sounded like K from Men in Black.
Yes, he sounded like Two-Face in certain parts.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something there, Senator. There's no way we're going to be doing this. And
Yeah,
Run out of breath. Let me know whatever.
Tommy Lee Jones is like Liam Neeson in that sense that he's always going to have he's always Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. So when he started to talk, I felt like I was getting the Tommy Lee Jones from like Under Siege, U.S. Marshals, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like he was the one that threw the wrench for me because everyone else fit that time period. Walter Goggins felt like he was there. You know, all the other actors that they're kind of B actors, but I know them from other projects, and they felt like they were in that time period, except Tommy Lee Jones. Like he was the only one that stuck out like a sore thumb because of the way he talks. Daniel Day-Lewis as Lincoln, I thought he did a phenomenal job. I think he did a great job. But again, I didn't care for it. And I'm going to be honest, I texted Nate like 100 times during this damn watch. And I'm going, I hope he gets shot because that's the only thing I'm looking forward to. And when they show his son or whoever in the booth, and the guy's like, yeah, his son. And he was like, oh, the president's been shot. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm not going to see this damn part because I wanted it. I mean, I know it's bad to say, but again, there's certain biopics that you want to see how, John Wells
something played out.
Yes, I want to see how that happened. They did it for John F. Kennedy. They showed the damn the footage 100 times. Yeah,
and that's the real footage.
That's what I'm saying. Like they showed that. I wanted to see how can they portray the assassination back then through the movie. Him shooting him from the back, he jumps off the thing, and then he said, or whatever the hell he said, and then they captured him, or whatever the hell he said. The South will rise again, I think. That's what he said, John Wells Booth, in the language. He said something. I looked it up.
He said something in Latin.
Yeah, he said something in Latin that I think he said the South will rise up.
Rise again.
Yes, the South will rise. And see, I could be out there, but I do know some stuff. Anyway, that was what I was looking forward to. Now, the movie doesn't play that. I was kind of like let down. But at the end of the day, to me, it's way too lengthy for this type of movie. It was like 2 hours plus. It was way too long. I agree with Nate. The damn thing was boring as hell. Acting wise, amazing across the board. There was a lot of amazing shots. I like the war scene in the beginning where he's sitting and he's talking to the two black characters, which I think one of them was famous, right?
It's Coleman Domingo and David Aiello. The both of them.
Those two guys. Yeah. So
he flew that. What was the other one?
Oh, David Aiello.
Yeah, he flew from Jack Reacher one night to go film this because he wanted to be that, and then flew back to film Jack Reacher.
And then he played Martin Luther King in that Selma movie.
Well. He did a great, like that scene, I thought it was really good when he's talking to them. I thought that was really good. But then for me, it just got lost because I didn't know. We started to get two different films. We got a little bit of Lincoln and his family a little bit. And then it became the 13th Amendment. And then so it concentrated between two for me. But I just
that's
got
a good
bored.
Point. Now that you say that, because Evan, Evan was right. Like this is not and I agree. This is not a biopic at all.
No.
But like you do have those scenes where it's like him and his wife in the room where she's like, if our son dies, I'm going to be all man. And he's like, you know what? If he dies and you make it horrible for me, that's on you. I don't care. But all that is kind of biopic stuff. That has nothing to do with the amendment or with anything else other than personal. So it is kind of a mix. And maybe that's why they called it Lincoln, because it does delve a little bit into his family life.
It goes into the idea because of how we praise Lincoln for the 13th Amendment and saying, well, he wasn't the only one driving it, but also how he get about it. Did he do it legally, not legally? How does it go? Does it hold up and stuff? But then to the man himself and that's a big thing, because I used it as can a person, because Lincoln cards out, he's not about equal of rights for everybody. He's kind of a racist. If you read his earlier writings, he actually is part of the plan to America bought land in Africa because he's against slavery. Not for equal of rights. Instead, he starts meeting Frederick Douglass, and he starts to change his mind. So you kind of see him in that in process. And so as a person who loves history and stuff like that, it's such a beautiful movie because it's not well like cookie cutter. Like, you know what I mean? And because you watch Ray's another one, or the Johnny Cash one, what is that one?
Walk the Line.
Walk the Line. They're just so cookie cutters of their life. It's like, man, they're just heroes with mistakes. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna have the drug problem, but they're just they don't feel real. They feel like a superhero. Yeah. And this one kind of does the opposite. It's saying, trying to make Lincoln a real person.
No, I totally get it, but they don't show scenes of him being racist. None of the scenes.
No, because
at the beginning, he's talking to the guys at the war, telling, his opinion, what they're going to do, blah, blah, blah. But then other than that, there's no racism with him. Like, making it seem like he's cool with the black people.
Well, because he's at the end. He's at the end of that, so he's changing his mind, and so that's why you have that at the very beginning with the people about the land, and that one lady goes, "Are you really gonna free the slaves?" Like,
I get it.
So they're asking him. That's why a lot of his cabinet members are. He goes, "Are you really holding the Southerners back because you really want to?" Like, they're all like questioning him. Are you really doing this now? Because that's going against what we all talked about before. They're all like, but it doesn't flat out say it because it doesn't want to because it's complicated.
Right? No, I get it, but I just think if you're gonna go down this line, you had to show earlier of him being racist, and then, like you said, he talked to Frederick Douglass and he changes his mind, and then you get, the little, give us something. Because honestly, I know you don't like it, but it's kind of putting him in a pedestal that he liked his black people. That's all I'm saying. Like, in this movie, is making it sound like that while you're telling me earlier stuff he was a racist and stuff. This movie's not giving me that.
No, it's the question of what is a racist and stuff. Yeah. So like I used to ask my students is like, can you own slaves and not be a racist, and can you be against slavery and be a racist? Like, because we just take these terminology and actually don't know what it means. And that's why what's his name, where Tommy Lee Jones' character says, do not say they are equal. They're just equal among the law, not equal among God's whatever. Remember, like he had to distinct the two, and so that's where they're going with that. Is like, because it's what we like to sometimes just describe what racism and equal. It's not like that. It's so complicated of understanding the complex and this movie handles it and doesn't, like, where I feel Amistad tries to kind of makes it too just here's good, here's bad. Where's the, and so I think it's an easier movie to watch because of that, because it's easier for us to put that in our brains and stuff like this. And movie does not do that.
I think the thing with Tommy Lee Jones was they were wanting to say like they're free but not equal. That was the thing. They're free. They're not, they're not owned, but they don't have equal rights.
And then at the end, he took the 13th Amendment and then showed it to his wife or whoever he was sleeping with, which was black. And so I get it. I'm in terms of like, again, it's a good, I don't want to hold this up. I'm just saying is because there's a lot of deep topics in this movie that you could talk about. And again, since you're a historian, you know more knowledge than what this movie was presenting to everything. So again, as a movie standpoint, it did its job. For me as a viewer, I'm not into these type of films. So I was just not... I wasn't too happy sitting down watching it. Like, I wanted to see the tragedy because that is something I never lived through, but we never got it. That's all I got to say. So, yeah, that's how I feel about the film.
All right. Very good. Well, let's get some scores here to go along with our reviews. Evan, what did you give this movie?
So I'm going to give what I'm good. I gave it a solid 9. And the only reason why I give it a 9, to me, it's a 10, but I also agree. And it was still a 9 before, but it doesn't bring enough people along for the ride. Okay. So it's made for me. I love the movie. I get it. My son loved it. My wife got lost and bored. If that makes sense. You guys, and you're saying it doesn't bring enough people, doesn't do a well enough job that if you don't know this story and you don't love this history, to bring people in. And so that's why I knocked off the score. But besides that, I think it's a perfect movie. I think it needed to be a better job.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give it a passing score, even though I won't rank it high for me as far as the ranking
goes. What was Warhorse for you?
I gave that a 6 too, but I think that's better.
Okay.
I liked it better, I should say.
As long as you didn't rank it higher, I'm fine with that.
Oh, no, my score. Yeah, the scores are the same. The rankings are not the same. But yes, the scores are the same. Yeah, 6 out of 10 for me. Again, respect it. I think it's a commendable movie and extremely well made and extremely boring for me. I'm not a fan. Alex, what did you give this one?
Yeah, well, I'm totally opposite. This is my first 1 out of 10.
Oh wow!
I see where you guys are coming from, but at the end of the day, I'm bored and I'm never watching this again.
I think this is our biggest gap on
this
ratings.
9, a 6, and a 1. Yeah, that's
it's a biggest gap, and it's funny that me and Nate was talking because we were texting and we were laughing. I think War Horse is a way better movie than this one.
In hindsight,
like I enjoyed the horse running around.
Alex did say I would rather watch Joey in the barbed wire.
I did say I'd rather see the horse wrapped in barbed wire.
Y'all crapped on my boy Albert, and now look, you're bored out of your mind.
Because I gave that movie a 2 out of 10, and there's no way I'm gonna put that in the same. I'm like no. And you know what? We give all the crap that we want about 1942. I actually, compared to Lincoln, I'd rather watch that movie. At least I was entertained with the comedy and the dumbness of the film. But
see, that's where I feel about War Horse. 1942 is above. Like I can't wait for my ranking because I get to hash it out there.
But what I would say is, look, nothing against you guys is at all.
No.
I'm just saying we have all different opinions on how we watch our movies and what we enjoy, and this is a perfect example of. This
has an entertainment value factor of 0.
I wish I texted you, Alex, or Nate, to say my guess for your score for this was a 3. Oh, I was going to guess that for you because I know this is not your type of movie, and and you're the person when I rewatch it going, see, Alex is going to be lost. It doesn't bring people in unless they're already. This is a movie made for the people who love. That and that's fine because there's books out there. There's history books that are made for historians, and then there's history books that are made for the brand new person to this subject, and those get to live independently of each other and be completely okay. And this is a movie
that is best as a history book, in my opinion.
Yes. And you know what? And I told Nate this, and Nate could testify. I literally said if he gets shot at the end of the movie, I was going to give it an extra point. Like I literally was going to give him more points. I was like, if I get to see his assassination, because I kind of knew they wasn't going to go down that route because it would have been talked about everywhere if they did show it. But I was just like, I would have gave it an extra point. But honestly, we didn't get that. And I thought that was a letdown for the audience because I know for a fact there's a lot of audience member that wanted to see how it all went down.
The best way I compare it to people is if you go see Titanic, but you don't see the boat sink.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
That would be brutal.
That's exactly what it is. I sat through 3 hours and the boat doesn't even hit the iceberg. I'll be tight.
Like they see you.
No, it hits the iceberg, but you just see them saved. Yeah.
That would be so whack. Oh.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think that is, you're right, a big gap here. 9, a 6 for me, a 1 for Alex. Great. Yeah. You know what? We watched it. We're moving on. We only have a few movies left. Honestly, I think 5 or 6 until we're done. Next up, another one that I'm interested to see how this goes.
Oh, boy.
Steven Spielberg from War Horse until a couple movies later was in his stuffy old man movie era. Because the next movie coming up is Bridge of Spies with Tom Hanks. And then after that, it's The Post, which this block has got to be known as the boring block, in my opinion. Now, you may like the movie or not like the movie. Some are more interesting than others, but they're all a little bit boring and stuffy. But they all got nominated for a bunch of awards. So we will be reviewing Bridge of Spies. Alex, you ever seen that one?
No.
Nope. Okay, you do like espionage. I think you might.
No, I love espionage films. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like espionage. Like even slow burns. Like I remember me and Nate cover a lot of them. I like slow burn spy movies. It's just weird to say, but biopics
you might get
of
more out of
presidents.
that movie because it is a spy movie. But it's not thrilling. I'll just say that. So we'll be covering Bridge of Spies next. We're almost done. We will, by the way, we've decided just because of how long it ended up taking. We're going to do Disclosure Day as the final movie before we do the live show ranking. So we'll include Disclosure Day. It just so happens that it will come out during the time where we're doing these reviews. So keep an eye out for that. As always, if you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you get notified when new videos drop. Leave us a comment if you like Lincoln or If you're on Evan's team, or if you're on Alex's team, or if you're on my team and you're like in the middle, let us know down below in the comments. And that's it. That's the show, as always. So thank you for watching. Be awesome to each other and geek out.